So this is a town sedan, and you could tell by, well, looking at it, but actually it's really confusing. In the 30s and early 40s, Chevrolet had so many different styles. I could tell this is a town sedan because of the trunk right away. Now we can go back up front really quick, look at the suspension, and we could tell if this is a Master solid axle front end or a Master Deluxe. 37 was the first year that they introduced the famous independent front suspension. Yep. So this is a Master Deluxe town sedan, which is the higher echelon or model. So far, the body's looking pretty good, but we'll see what we got going on. So one of the first things I noticed, the grille on this is actually pretty decent. Headlights are beautiful. Doors aren't that bad. This is also really common. All the moisture and pine needles and water and stuff come down these rear windows, and because of the shape, it all comes forward, sits right in the bottom here, and rots that out. The glass, slightly foggy. It looks like it's currently underwater, actually. That's kind of unique. And that brings us up to the power barn. Let's take a look in here. Should be a whopping 85 horsepower straight six in here. Oh yeah, there she is. I'll be dipped. She's been Craigslist rebuilt. Spray paint on everything. But I think we got completage in the engine bay, which is great. Should have a Carter single barrel on it, downdraft. It's gonna have a coil and point system, mechanical fuel pump, 6-volt, you know. Here's that trim tag here. You can see that it is in fact a 37 Master Deluxe. Who knows how many times it's had color green blasted on it. I'd say minimum of 2. Even the trim tag's been painted, you know. The good old boy we bought this from, I think he might have been farting around with a little bit, because I see some new trinkets here and there. It looks like some hose clampulators, some doodads, but we were told it's been off the road for a couple decades at least. Oh, here's ignition sticks. That's rare for us. All right, well, now that we got these, let's go get in the trunk, see what we got going on in there. I can't believe that trunk lock still works. Smells like a potato sack full of cigar boxes and a lot of regret. Appears to be the rear seats. A brand new spare tire. Doesn't even look like it's ever been used. And a pudding cup. Ooh, and a whole lot of flying creatures with stripes on them over here. That's fine. I guess we could jump inside, check out the interior or what's left of it. Oh, man. Oh, that's kind of weird. I'm getting a little bit more of like a blacksmith pine cabinet with a hint of basil smell up here. It's kind of nice. Anyway, it's showing 85 million miles. That seems to do stuff. Let's see what the brake pedal does. Oh, not only does it have pedal action, I heard juice move. Wouldn't that be great if we had brakes? This is a pretty neat old rig. It's probably more original than Warren G. Oh, the cowl vent flips up. You always got to run with them up. Looks a lot better. Seats are darn near perfect. Here's all the, oh, look. There's the grill piece. Some vitamins. There's quite a few parts in here. All the chrome. Suspension is tight, as you can see. This thing's gonna handle really well. Okay, well, that's our 37 Chevy, I guess. Why weren't there more car wrecks back then? Doesn't make sense. So here's the plan. I think I'm just gonna try to get this thing running where it sits. And if it does, we're gonna drive it to a shop about 50 miles down the road here that we can utilize to work on this thing. Easy on the paint. And then we're gonna spin this thing over by hand, make sure it still rotates. That spins nice and easy. All right. Oh, Oh, yeah, they've got a Rochester on this guy. Not a Carter. I'm gonna put a battery in this thing. Yeah, get out of here. Okay, now for the new one. There we go. She crankalizes. Yes. Think by golly, it did pump some fuel. Oh, someone put some new sparkle parts in here. It's got spark. So I don't even need to test the coil or any of that stuff. I am gonna change this filter tray real quick because that looks pretty nasty. Okay, guess we can put some gas in now. Gasolina. So the tank's good, as far as I could tell, you know, so that's great news. I'm just gonna dump gas in there and we'll just see what the filter says to us up front. I already smell like burlap and it's not even noon. Filling the bowl up right now with some flammable liquids, the Roadworthy way. There we go. I like to use pre-mixed fuel. This has a little bit of two-stroke oil in it. It's a lot easier on the engine with that extra lubrication in there for the pistons, cylinder walls, rings. And if it doesn't start, you lessen the chance of washing the rings down, which is something that can definitely happen if you're just cranking and cranking and cranking an old engine. And just a little splash. That was way too much. Perfect. Bring the thunder. It's been brought. It's pumping fuel. Wow, look at that. No choke or nothing. Look at that. It's a sewing machine. The oil pressure gauge works. 15 pounds, way more than enough, like 14 too many. It says it's charging. I don't think the temperature gauge works. That's okay. I forgive it. There we go. It's got to warm up a little bit. But look at this. There's no rust or huge particles in the filter. We took a gamble on the fuel tank, but it might pay off. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Okay, it runs. It's alive, but doesn't run very well yet. Doesn't want to rev up. Carburetor might need to be gone through. Timing is definitely off. Potentially have some water in the oil. It's looking a little bit not so goodish. Oh, it's water. I thought it might be fuel. So now I'm gonna add coolant and we'll run it again. And if that line comes up past full, we know that the excess fluid is in fact coming from the rad. Hopefully it's just severely very bad oil and we could just drop and change that. We're good to go. Probably not. Okay. It'd be really cool if we got this running though. This would be the second oldest vehicle other than the Motor City Model A. Well, there's water just pouring out of the water pump. But to replace that in any sort of productive manner, all of everything that you see has to come out. Oh yeah, about 236 degrees by the third degree burn on my left hand. So I'm gonna jack up the front end, get the tires and wheels off because I need to get my body dangerously wrapped inside of the wheel well while teetering on a jack. I can try to pull the rad and the body panel one big chunk. Then I can gain easy access to the water pump because these old cars, they never really had shrouds. So the fan is like 1/4 of an inch to the rad and they're really, really difficult to work on, especially when you're, you know, a Sasquatch. Okay, let's just be really, really gentle. I mean, everything's fine. Just relax. All right, stay one. Oh, brake line's been replaced. No wonder they had juice pipes working. Look at how many times I went to church, 74 weddings. Well, probably a whole bunch of booze runs, legal and illegal. Okay, clean this up, gasket, new pump, continue our day. Karate. Okay, that's that. This time we'll see if it stays in the engine. All of that work was just to replace the water pump. So that's fine. We're off to a really good start. Hats. Water, oil, come on out. You know, and then we'll put some like used 30 weight in here or something. Something that's good for flat tapping cams, got all the vitamins and minerals. Zinc and phosphorus mainly. Dinosaur juice is what I'm talking about. Doesn't need to be anything fancy. Think about oil in 1937. They were probably literally just shoveling it out of the ground. So, oh, there's a better look at the water oil. Kind of looks like baby poop, if I'm being honest. Right now I'm gonna tear this apart and do a quick little dirty rebuild on it. I need an accelerator pump if I'm gonna try to drive this thing. So when you mash the gas, well, it's like, there's a little shot of fuel that comes in right away initially to help the engine with the additional airflow and everything like that. This doesn't have that, so it wants to stall every time you hit the throttle. Not ideal, bad. We got about 50 some miles-ish to get to the shop, so I'm gonna just blow this apart. I got a cheap little rebuild kit here. So hopefully we hit the key, it fires back up for the 59th time. We can see that it's running better, we can check the cooling system one more time, and then we are ever so close to jamming this thing on the highway. Oh yeah, it's running way smoother. So you can actually rev it up now. Well, suppose a guy should check on the clutch. I like how the flywheel is open and the clutch is just winging away right here. That seems like the clutch. Oh, B. She's good to go. That's how you know a lady drove the car. Lipstick mirror on the driver's side. Well, as you can see, I kind of only got a porthole in here. So I'm gonna try to just take the windshield out, it's 2 pieces, and then put nothing back. Be careful not to bend this. The mouse smell is getting really thick in here. I regret that decision. Wow, it's pretty solid, actually. Now I ruined the glass. Beery auto glass, I'll take it out. Nothing's going back in. Should have taped that together first. All the 90-year-old water in between the panes of glass. No. Nope. Oh boy. This is how I get hantavirus and die, right here. Oof. Found the seats. Oh gosh. I might need a mask for the first 50 miles. Listen, I've been doing this a long time, and I have dug some cars out. But this thing is terrible. I also have 2 right-hand gloves. So I was just gonna go down the road like this, but this is gonna keep flappalizing and dropping mouse nests and everything else on me. So I've decided to go ahead and drop the whole headliner right now. Oh, remember how I said it'd be cool to do a pre-war car? It's really cool. Oh, that was a skeleton. That's all mouse poop. All right, let's go. Well, we're up here in Michigan where we picked up this 37 Chevy Master Deluxe. It's not very mastery right now, though. It needs a lot of work. I think I got it patched up good enough to potentially hit the road. We're gonna attempt to make about a 50-mile journey. We're gonna leave the backyard here and try to go over to a shop that we have access to so we can continue working on this old Chevy. We just gotta hope that the rear end works and the wheel bearings and more than one gear and brakes. It's fine. Third, oh, there are a lot of stuff blowing. It's kind of like riding a motorcycle, but significantly worse. Oh, whoa, whoa. Rears feel a little low. Also, they're only, 1.25 inches wide. That doesn't really help us. Boy, she gets to wandering like they're pulling a trailer loaded draw. Takes a minute to get her under control. Check my rear view. Oh yeah, I got a truck right behind me. Uh-oh. I'm turning to the right. I don't think you can hear me. Oh, got me a backfire. Oh. Oh, the seats are, it's like going up my back. Oh, I need to take a shower and brake clean. I just realized when the engine overheats and the radiator cap explodes off, boiling water comes shooting out, I have no shield other than my face. So that's pretty good. It's a really immersive experience. Not having a windshield. Not only do you know what season it is based on the insects hitting you, but also the smell of various fertilizers and tire piles burning, things of that nature. Oh, they got cattle, see? Ah! Boy, that independent front suspension is independent. We are losing a little bit of oil pressure. That's probably good enough. Oh, air cleaner's about to fall off. Oh, in my hat. Dang it. Almost lost my forehead on me. It's something to... I forgot to put the wing nut on here, see? I got a couple treads on there. Should be okay. Well, we about have 10 miles left in our journey, and we'll have made it to the shop. First big journey down for this car. We're getting so close. Ride's pretty good for being 86 years old or whatever. It's really not that bad. So we're just pulling into the shop. I can't believe we actually made it, but we're here. I have digested so many different items, it's not even funny. I guess free supper. But now we can actually get to work on this thing.